Hey everyone, Pablo here, and I'm back again with slightly better lighting. Still a crappy computer camera, Magnumite, which you probably can't see because of the bad lighting, and a quiet house because as I got home back from school, everyone left for a wedding. So anyway, I'm back to finally end this Ash thing, okay? I probably crushed you guys, and now I'm here to tell you guys why psychologically do the older fans, I guess myself would count. Anyway, why do the older fans want to see Ash age? Because think about it, how many cartoon characters aged and yet we want them to? You know, like how many cartoon characters don't age and we want them to? Think about Bart Simpson doesn't age, they just show some time skips it. No one complains about that. Stewie aged once and no one complained about that. No one complained, oh, why won't Stewie grow up? No one complains that Timmy Turner grows up. Heck, people hated it when he grew up. People hated the live action thing in which he grew up. I'm just saying, like, Bart Simpson never ages. They show time skips though. Strange. Johnny Test never ages, and they've actually made a joke about that. Stewie never ages. He's turned to 1, and that's pretty much it. Heck, Timmy Turner doesn't age, and even when he does age, people hated it. Like that live action grow up Timmy Turner thing. Why is Ash Ketchum a character that people want to grow up and mature? Not a lot of cartoon characters are want to grow up. They just don't really much care. So I started thinking, and then so basically I found out that when it comes to an action show or an adventure show or basically just a show that has no comedy or isn't 100% comedy, the main character or four main characters aroundish, fourish, aroundish, their character is that they are no character. What a twist! See, it turns out that the main character, or four main characters, or group that are the main characters, they have to have some vague description about them, or their character is literally a demographic of people in which they're trying to introduce, in which they want to watch from the show. Example, Spider-Man. Let's just go with Spider-Man, because he has a movie coming out that I want to watch. Spider-Man is quite relatable. You know, he doesn't have that much of a character. He kind of does, but he's able to, but due to his relatableness, he is able to get away with having some bit of character. For example, he's a teenager, and he has to juggle through high school and social life and tests and tests and the homework, and then you add on the whole crime fighting. So, you know, we can all at one point relate to the whole drama and the hell of high school. You know, and then he's a kid that got picked on a lot. He wasn't that strong, he wasn't that fast, he wasn't that much of a jock. He was pretty much some kid that knew a lot of stuff. He's kind of a nerd, in which a lot of people could probably relate. And so basically, Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man, and so now he's stronger, he's more resistant, he has spider powers, that kind of stuff, and he's able to kick butt and that kind of stuff, in which a lot of people wish they had. They'd be like, oh my god, I wish I was just a little bit stronger, I wish I was just a little bit more athletic, that way I can just not get picked on a lot, that's, and then like they look at Spider-Man and that's wish fulfillment. They see themselves and hope to be a character that they can one day become. Plus, it's even easier to imagine yourself as Spider-Man because Spider-Man wears that mask that literally covers your entire body. Basically, that's what Ash Ketchum is. He's basically just a character that a lot of people wish to become one day. Now, what's my evidence? Okay, well, think. What is Ash Ketchum's character? Let's see. He wants to be the best at what he can be. Who doesn't want to be the best? you know? He has a childlike sense of wonder, like every child. He kind of has a temper, I guess, when it comes to people that he doesn't like. Then again, who doesn't? You know? He's has a parent. Okay? He lives in a small town. Not everyone lives in the big cities. uh, what else is there about Ash Ketchum that makes him unique? He's nice. I don't know. See, like, I can't really think of what he can. What I can't really think of him as an individual person. He's basically just like a demographic. And yet his sidekicks or co-characters, the characters next to him, Misty and Brock, I can figure them out and psychologically know their reactions to things like that. And the first time I did that was with Misty, and it was really creepy. So interesting how the side characters have. Think about it, like the side characters get all the backstories. Misty gets the backstory of why she's afraid of Gyarados. Brock has the um, Brock has the betrayal feeling of his parents leaving him. Jesse has the backstory of her crappy childhood. James has the backstory of always being forced into stuff, yet he's rich. Meowth has the backstory of being abandoned and not being loved enough. And what's Ash's backstory? Heck, I am freaking waiting for X and Y to finally Ash and Serena to meet so I can figure out the backstory of how she meets Ash, okay? I want that to happen already, okay? Basically, Ash is relatable. Okay, so to older fans, go back in time to when you first saw Pokemon in the first season, as your kids. Saturday morning was you watch these cartoons on Saturday morning. You're like, hey, I like this kid, he reminds me of me, I want to be the best at what I do. Of course, Ash is a beginner. He's an amateur at Pokemon in the beginning. And later as he gets more gym battles and then learns a little bit more about Pokemon, he learns about typing, he learns about, speed and attack and that kind of stuff. He finds more creative ways to defeat Pokemon, it's like he's maturing along with you. As Ash is learning more about Pokemon, you're learning more about Pokemon. Since this is first gen, there's not much to learn about Pokemon except for in the game. Hmm? 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 Can I stop saying now? So, yeah, so as you're like maturing and going along, and then Orange Islands comes, you're still growing up, and then Johto comes, you're still growing up. Yeah, you're maturing and that kind of stuff. Heck, even when Ash is in Johto, he matures. He's like, oh yeah, like when he meets the older trainers, he's like, oh yeah, I remember catching a Pidgey and that kind of stuff. I was such a boss, and then later third gen comes, in which a lot of first gen people don't like one geners. So annoying. So anyway, you know, you're old, so maybe you just don't watch the Pokemon anime, or maybe you still watch for some weird reason. And so you watch the Hoenn, and then like you see, what? Misty's gone? But many fans had a crush on her, which I never understood. I never had a crush on anyone from the cartoon world, so I found that strange. What? There's some new girl and some annoying little kid? What? Ash doesn't have his old Charizard, and old Pokemon, he has only Pikachu now. What's going on? What? Ash forgot about the whole typing? He forgot about how you had to weaken a Pokemon before you catch in a Pokeball? Oh my god, what the heck's going on? Ash is like a dumbass now, he's being dumb. He doesn't remember any of this stuff. And that's it. That's why fans want Ash to grow up. Because you've grown up. You've grown up. You basically just wake up early in the mornings and then watch this cartoon in which has grown up along with you. So as the main character that you were able to relate, gain more knowledge of the Pokemon, you gain more knowledge of the Pokemon, and maybe if it was a good enough show, you learned about life lessons and that kind of stuff as well as you grow up. But then when a new season kicks in, it's like Ash freaking got neuralized for Men in Black and then forgot everything and started all over again. But you are just sitting there watching, saying, can't talk today. Well, what's happened to this kid I was able to relate to? What's happened? It's like he just stopped growing. It's like he reversed age and got back to aging again, but then reverse ages and then gets back to aging again. That's why fans want Ash to grow up, because they saw themselves as Ash and now they've grown up, but now their perspective is different because Ash hasn't grown up at all. He's forgotten stuff about Pokemon and then remembering again, which can get pretty annoying. Which is kind of sad. Which is probably why you guys have made these series about Ash being 10, just because you're in denial and because you just want to find an excuse so that you won't hate on Ash. So basically, that's honestly kind of sad. But to help you guys out here, this is how I see the show. Because as a kid, I was strangely smart in some areas. After all, I didn't have a crush on Misty, so my heart was never broken when she was gone. So that's how I see the show when I'm watching it, even till this day and as a kid. I never saw myself as Ash. I saw myself training along with Ash. Of course, when I'm seeing myself in the show with Ash, I'm done. I got all 8 badges, boy. So basically, I'm just traveling alongside Ash for fun because I'm done with everything and all I can do is train, have some fun, that kind of stuff. And so I'm basically just going along with Ash because kid's funny. He's a good kid. He's good people. He helps you out, that kind of stuff. He always gets into some adventures and that kind of stuff. He always gets the fun. At times in the movies, he's the chosen one. So when I'm ever watching the cartoons and I don't really put myself as Ash, I put myself along with Ash. You know, uh, it's kind of like when older people or hang around, basically teenagers or kids. Not because they're creepy and that kind of stuff or pedophiles. No, it's because they want to relive their youth. Be like, oh yeah, I remember playing that as a kid, that kind of stuff. You know, don't you older fans feel that? When you see some little kid playing his 3DS, playing Pokemon, they be like, oh yeah, I remember playing that game. It was so fun, that kind of stuff. Relive your youth. That's how I see myself when I'm watching Pokemon. I don't pick on Ash because he's dumb. Actually, in fact, I pick on Iris because she's terrible. Question for the comments. If you lived in Pokemon anime, who would you hang out with and what would you do? For me, I would hang out with Brock and being his wingman. Because I think that would be so much fun. Trying to get some ladies, trying to get some Officer Joys and Nurse Jenny's. Wait, I mean Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy's. I just think that would be fun, just like try to be a wingman for him, and then he screws up by like doing that weird thing he does. I just think it would be so fun. So anyway, basically that's why Ash is 10. In short, you grew up with this kid, but then he stopped aging, and you matured and just have moved on. And you want him to age so that basically you have a relatable character that you can grow up with. Basically, Ash is your friend, and you've outgrown your friend, but you don't want to outgrow him. You want him to grow along with you. If you like this video, or if you just hate me because I've been like ruining your childhood, um, do some stuff in the comments, click like, subscribe, check out my channel. Um, see you guys next time. Don't forget to catch them all. I've got some relaxing to do, and I got some work to do.